Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. Today, I wanted to come past and talk about reading, specifically poetry. I have the last 4 poems from this book that I'm going to put out today and start producing videos from the next book that I'm reading, next poetry book I'm reading. But today's poem is called Private Sadness by Bob Kaufman. It says, "Sitting here alone in peace with my private sadness, bared of my acquirements of the mind's eye, vision reverse, appended, seeing only the holdings inside the walls of me, feeling the roots that bind me to this mere human tree, thrashing to free myself, knowing the success of these burstings shall be measured by the fury of the fall, the internal peace, the end of all." I absolutely love this poem. When I read it about a month ago, I thought it was exactly how I was feeling in the moment. Living can be a little bittersweet. When you have reconciled being here and that this is a solo journey and you choose to actually live instead of just exist, you always kind of feel a little sadness behind it, a little survivor's remorse, because as you grow and develop and as you acquire more, integrity, values, whatever it is that, resources, whatever it is that you seek in life, you secretly feel bad because other people around you, that maybe your friends, family, people that you don't know, strangers, coworkers, may be suffering in ways that you aren't suffering. Or you may see things on the news or read things or hear things that make you feel bad and about the experience that you're having, because your experience may be mostly pleasant, it may be enjoyable, and you can be around people or see that that is not the norm for most people, and it makes you feel a little private sadness because you can't really speak up and say too much and say, "Oh, I feel bad," because it's a little condescending to say, "Oh, my life is doing so good and I feel bad for you." It seems like that's more ridicule than empathy. And so it's like it's kind of, it's not a good thing to sit in a place and look down on where other people are sitting, because even if you feel like you have grown, things are working out for you, things are better for you, that person may be exactly where they want to be and may not prefer what it is that you want. And so you have a lot of private sadness, but it's from your own perspective. It's realizing like, oh, because of my standards, my values, the things that I value in this world, when looking at other people's experiences in this world, I would not want that. And I feel sorry or I feel sad that they're having that experience. And so, again, they may enjoy it in every experience manifested because they picked it. And they may pick that same experience over and over and over. And a part of the private sadness is coming to reconciliation, knowing like we all make our choices here. No one choice is better than another person's choices. If that person chooses to make the same choice and hurt themselves over and over and over again, which you view as hurt themselves, they're allowed to do that. They have the autonomy to do that. Even if you don't deem it the best answer or the best solution or the best situation or experience, it's ultimately their choice. So when you look around in the world, if you are enjoying your experience, you can see a lot of people who are miserable and unhappy. It makes you feel sad that they're stuck in their own way and they can't find the happiness that they seek, and they keep making poor and bad decisions. And ultimately, you just want the best for them. You just want them to get out their way. And overall, this is a shared experience. Living is a shared experience. So every time you come across a miserable or unhappy person, it affects you in some type of way because we're all one. So if that's how others are feeling, in some way it creates some residual in you, right? So that's what the private sadness is about, is regardless of how much you grow and develop, there will always be people who are not growing and developing in the way that you deem acceptable, or um, what what your preferences are in the world. And so being a part of the human family is a very tricky thing, because there aren't any isolated moves, but at the same time you're only responsible and accountable for yourself, and you have to kind of check your ego with judging other people, their life choices, their lifestyles, what they decide to do with their time, or overall what they chose to do with their life, regardless of if it's something that we deem ethically or morally corrupt, or injustice or bad. And so I just thought that it was such a beautiful, poem that in the moment was symbolizing exactly what I'm going through, because I'm having a great experience now. That doesn't mean that I don't have bad days or bad things don't happen to me. Of course they do. But I try to look for the good in those things, and I kind of believe in like a more faulty, where it's like all of these things have to happen, the good and the bad. You just have to find a way to accept them, to embrace them, to reconcile the experiences that are happening to you, and not allow it to turn you hard or cold, or make you miserable or unhappy, and make this wonderful experience that we're having, that you can choose to have, make it, dreadful, because of, what you're thinking and how you perceive life and how you move through the world. So thought it was a very great poem. Please share with me, what are your thoughts? Have you read it before? What does it make you think of? Do you have private sadness? And what do you do about it? Me, mostly, I just journal my private sadness. Sometimes I try to turn it into a poem. But mostly just getting it out me and acknowledging how I feel seems to heal it. And so, yes, I want everyone to have the best experience that they could possibly have while here. And so it's a little hurtful when that is not happening and when people are so miserable and sad. But ultimately, you have to leave people to make their own decisions and not judge those decisions. So I hope this helps, work life warriors. I'll see you on the next poetry reading. Have a great day.